At its height, the Mongol Empire was the largest contiguous empire in history, spanning from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. Its vastness was a testament to the remarkable military prowess and strategic brilliance of its founder, Genghis Khan. The empire's reach was unprecedented, and its influence was felt across continents. Yet, despite this immense power, within just a few generations, the Mongol Empire fractured and eventually fell. What went wrong? Why did the empire, once so powerful, crumble under its own weight? Today, we delve into the intricate story of the Mongol Empire's decline and explore the multifaceted reasons behind its eventual downfall. The Mongol Empire was forged in the early 13th century by the visionary genius of Genghis Khan. Born as Temujin, Genghis Khan rose from humble beginnings to unite the disparate Mongol tribes, which were previously fractured and often in conflict. His unmatched military strategy, his ability to inspire loyalty, and his innovative use of cavalry and intelligence networks turned a fragmented nomadic people into a dominant force that would shape the course of history. Genghis Khan's ability to unite the Mongol tribes was unprecedented, and his leadership was crucial in the creation of the empire. Under his guidance, the Mongols adopted a meritocratic system that was highly efficient and disciplined, making them one of the most formidable military powers of the time. By the mid-13th century, the empire stretched across much of Asia and into Eastern Europe. The Mongols' influence transformed the world in ways that were both profound and lasting. They created a vast empire that connected distant parts of the world, enabling the exchange of goods, ideas, technologies, and cultures. This era of unprecedented connectivity and exchange is often referred to as the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol Peace. The Pax Mongolica facilitated global trade, allowing goods to travel from the farthest reaches of the East to the farthest reaches of the West. It also promoted cultural exchange, including the spread of technologies such as paper and gunpowder, which would later play crucial roles in the development of Western civilizations. But as with all golden ages, the Mongol Empire's period of prosperity would eventually come to an end. The very vastness that had made the empire so powerful also became its greatest vulnerability. Managing such an expansive territory required a level of communication, administration, and control that was difficult to sustain over time. Even the Mongols, renowned for their efficiency, struggled to maintain their empire's coherence as it grew larger. The logistical challenges of ruling such a sprawling territory were immense. The empire's many regions, each with its own unique culture, economy, and political system, became increasingly difficult to govern as time passed. The central authority, once strong under Genghis Khan, began to weaken, and the empire's vastness became more of a burden than a benefit. After the death of Genghis Khan in 1227, his successors worked to maintain and expand the empire. However, with each succession came a new round of instability and division. Genghis Khan's heirs were divided over who should rule the empire, and this led to succession disputes and conflicts that would ultimately contribute to the empire's decline. After Genghis Khan's death, the empire was divided into four main khanates: the Yuan dynasty in China, the Golden Horde in Eastern Europe, the Ilkhanate in Persia, and the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia. While this division helped to preserve the empire in the short term, it also sowed the seeds of fragmentation. Each khanate became increasingly independent, and the bonds that once united the Mongol Empire began to loosen. In China, the Yuan dynasty, founded by Genghis Khan's grandson Kublai Khan, faced numerous challenges in maintaining its control over the Chinese population. Despite initial success, the Yuan dynasty struggled with corruption, heavy taxation, and widespread discontent among the Chinese population. Natural disasters, such as floods and famines, further exacerbated the situation, weakening the dynasty's legitimacy. By 1368, the Ming dynasty rose to power, overthrowing the Mongols and expelling them from China. This marked the end of Mongol rule in China and the beginning of a new chapter in Chinese history. The fall of the Yuan dynasty was a significant blow to the Mongol Empire and a clear sign of the empire's fragility. The Golden Horde, which ruled over parts of Russia and Eastern Europe, also faced its own set of challenges. Internal power struggles weakened the Golden Horde, and external threats, particularly from the rising Muscovy state under Ivan III, proved devastating. Ivan III, known as Ivan the Great, successfully resisted Mongol domination and eventually freed Russia from Mongol rule. By the late 15th century, the Golden Horde had fractured and ceased to exist as a unified political entity. Its decline mirrored the weakening of Mongol power across the empire and highlighted the empire's inability to maintain control over its far-flung territories. In Persia, the Ilkhanate suffered from internal instability, including financial crises, lack of clear succession, and political fragmentation. After the death of the Ilkhanate's last powerful ruler, the dynasty descended into chaos. By 1335, the Ilkhanate ceased to exist as a unified entity, breaking into smaller, weaker states that were easily conquered by emerging regional powers. The decline of the Ilkhanate was yet another blow to the Mongol Empire's cohesion. Similarly, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, which had once been a formidable power, struggled with leadership disputes and external pressure. The once powerful Khanate was gradually reduced to a shadow of its former self, as it faced constant challenges from rival states and nomadic groups. By the late 15th century, the Chagatai Khanate had fractured and was no longer a significant force in the region. One of the most devastating consequences of the Mongol Empire's trade networks was the unintentional spread of the Black Death. The Black Death, a deadly pandemic that ravaged populations across Europe and Asia, spread along the very trade routes that the Mongols had established. The disease decimated populations, disrupting economies, military recruitment, and governance. The loss of life weakened the Mongol Empire's ability to defend its territories and maintain control over its subjects. The pandemic further destabilized the already fragile empire and contributed to its eventual decline. As the Mongol Empire weakened, new powers rose to challenge its dominance. The Ming Dynasty in China, the Ottoman Empire in the Middle East, and the Muscovite state in Eastern Europe all capitalized on the Mongols' decline. These rising powers seized former Mongol territories and expanded their own influence, further fragmenting the once mighty Mongol Empire. The Mongols, unable to defend their vast empire from these emerging powers, saw their territory shrink and their influence wane. Another key factor in the fall of the Mongol Empire was the gradual loss of the Mongols' unifying identity. As the Mongols conquered new territories, they adopted many of the local customs, cultures, and traditions of the regions they ruled. This assimilation into conquered cultures, while initially practical, eventually led to the erosion of the Mongols' distinctiveness. The Mongols, once proud of their nomadic warrior culture, became increasingly integrated into the sedentary societies they had conquered. This loss of a unifying Mongol identity diminished the loyalty and cohesion that had once bound the empire together, making it more susceptible to internal division and external challenges. While the Mongol Empire eventually crumbled, its legacy endures. The empire reshaped global trade, facilitated cultural exchange, and influenced governance in regions it controlled. The world we know today was profoundly shaped by the Mongols' rise and fall. The exchange of goods and ideas that occurred under Mongol rule laid the groundwork for the Renaissance and the scientific revolution in Europe. The Mongols' impact on trade, technology, and culture was far-reaching, and their influence can still be seen in many parts of the world today. The fall of the Mongol Empire is a powerful reminder of the challenges that empires face as they grow and expand. It teaches us about the dangers of overextension, the fragility of centralized power, and the potential for internal divisions to weaken even the most powerful of states. It also underscores the impact of unforeseen external factors, such as pandemics, which can drastically alter the course of history. The Mongol Empire, once a shining example of military and political power, ultimately succumbed to these challenges, serving as a cautionary tale for future empires. The story of the Mongol Empire's rise and fall is one of triumph, tragedy, and transformation. It is a testament to the vision and determination of its founder, Genghis Khan, and the many rulers who followed him. But it is also a story of the fragility of power and the inevitable decline of even the mightiest empires. The Mongols, in their time, reshaped the world in ways that few could have imagined. Yet, as their empire fractured and fell, the world continued to move forward, shaped by the enduring legacies of their achievements and the lessons of their downfall.